About freedom, even Christ himself that gave them the freedom they believe today, they are going about preaching, jumping up and down. He died. He went through persecution. He suffered. He took it upon himself and paid the price for us now to find it difficult, you know, to do the same thing that Christ did for us to be free. Them themselves that are so much believe in that freedom. Believe in that Christianity. Then Yoruba people, you know, using church now. If you come to this island now, 98, will I say 99% of churches here in Ireland is headed by Yoruba pastors. I would say 99%. Maybe 1%, less than 1% of Igbo church you can actually. In this London, Dublin, yeah, it's only two Igbo church. I think as far one. You know, so all the whole churches is owned by Yoruba people. You know, so I don't, and if you go to those churches, it's filled with Igbo people. Igbo people. So Obasanjo saying that Christians should pray for Nigeria to remain one now. He just giving signal. This is what I believe. This is how I understand it. He's giving pure signal to Yoruba pastors. Continue hammering your what do you call it, sermon and deliverance and binding and losing and you know, to Igbo people, so that they will still remain adamant, daft to this freedom that we are fighting today. I think, Director, I just want to, you know, give time to other people to just say their mind.
Thank you very much. It's going very well. You know that I have a map here on my phone. A map that existed a very long time ago. Very old. I will not call it the ancient map of Africa, but it is the map of Africa. It is here on my phone. You will see that there is no Nigeria in it. There is no Hausa Fulani in it. These are the original people that make up the place we inhabit today. It has here, there is Ethiopia, there is Abyssinia, you have Sudan, you have Nubia, and also you have Guinea, and you have Biafra. You can see Biafra there stretching all the way, including Gabon. Today's Gabon, you have all the way there, that is Biafra. That is the word Biafra written there. We have been existing from time immemorial as a proof. Anything we tell you is verifiable. It is here. It is here. Anything you see is verifiable. That is the map. There was no Nigeria in it, no River State, no Imo State in it, no Bendel Igbo. After that, Delta Igbo. After that, South Igbo. After that, Niger Delta Igbo. Only one person with 4 names. I told you that we are formidable. There are many things we know that you don't know. Many things that if we bring it to your knowledge, you begin to marvel and wonder how come we came across this. We are formidable. Very formidable. Who else has something else to say, please? Who else has something else to say? Who else wants to speak? We have somebody here. Can she give us her name and where she comes from? We are Radio Biafra. We are without fear before our enemies. We want to have her name. What is her name, please, and where she comes from? Your name, please, and where you come from. This is Radio Biafra. Myself, I'm Nnamdi Kanu from Isiama Faruku in Ibeku. Ibeku is in Biafra land, not in Umuahia, because the name Umuahia was given to me by a white man. Again, I don't like it. Please go ahead.
Ahambongozeka. Ume esim Osumenyi na Nnewi na Anambra State.
Thank you.
Abwan money Igbo.
Yes, we know from your language.
Asem na ndị isi na ndị Igbo nọ n'obodo a.
That is wonderful. She's one of the thick women here, thick madam, as we say where we come from. Thank you very much.
Ihe eji mara m n'obodo a bụ ama eze nwaanyị ndị Igbo Island.
Eze nwaanyị ndị Igbo
Island.
In Ireland.
Ihe m nwa na-ekwu bụ ndị be anyị tetezie n'ụla oge akara aka erugo na ha ya anọzi na-arahụ ụra oge ọbụla. You know, asị onye ọbụla jiri ụtụtụ wee chụọ ewu ojii maka mgbe chi jielu egwugharị anyị afọ ya. Ihe m chọrọ ka m gwa ndị be anyị tetenu. Anyị bụ nwaanyị anyị ya emekarị karịa na anyị na-enu unu bụ nwoke anya. Ụmụ nwoke anyị tete n'ihe a na-eme ebe a ehika, you know, ha tete n'ụra ụjọ atụ n'ụlọ na afọ adịghị atụ ụjọ ka o ji wee buru ụzọ. You know?
Thank you very much.
Ọ ga-adịrị ụlọ mma.
Thank you, and you as well. She spoke Igbo language and we allowed her because she is Ezewanye. Ezewanye. You don't expect her to be speaking grammar. She is Ezewanye. That's who she is. Yes, and we are very delighted to have her with us. Let us go to the line first of all before we proceed any further. We have a caller on the phone. This caller will give us his or her name. We are Radio Biafra and we're in Dublin, in Ireland. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you are, please.
Nnamdi Kanu. I'm calling from Oslo in Norway.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to first of all thank the director on the good work you are doing and the whole board of Radio Biafra. You people are doing a great job. At least it has made a lot of people to have a lot of interest in this Biafran issue. I want to comment shortly on the things that are happening on it today. According to the report of what I got, it was not a Macron member that they killed. The problem is that they killed an official of Anambra State Transport Association, the people that are collecting money on the road for the state government. And those people, they stopped the trailer, and the trailer driver and the conductor is an farmer. And they carried him and they killed him inside, and they dropped him in Onitsha. And that is why our youth has now went out, and the rule on our people in Onitsha, they have run away. I even called somebody in Onitsha. He told me that everywhere they have pursued the whole Hausa people. So I want our people to get the record straight that this issue is not the issue of myself. It is the issue of an Hausa people trying to kill another Biafra man in our own land. When they are killing us in the north, and they will come back to our Biafra land to come and kill us also, which we will never accept. So once again, I want to thank you, Director. I want to thank the barrister. And I want to beg you people to please let us support this man, Goodluck Jonathan, because he is in a big pressure. The Northerners seriously gang up against him. Nobody can be under such a hot seat. He takes the grace of God, and he is very, very wise, and that's why he's going for this conference. He is showing them pepper. At the end of the day, you will see that through him, Biafra will come out by the grace of God. So I believe with support, the man, because the whole Northerners, they all gang up. The people that don't supposed to come together before, they become friends because a Southerner is the president. The man is seriously on a hot seat. So please, once again, let us give him a trial. Because he's trying. The Boko Haram people that we are saying he released, most of them, the person that bombed the Mandala district in Abuja, he got last sentence last month. He received life sentence. He's been life in prison now in Abuja. That's somebody Sokoto. So the man is trying also. We should give him support, please. I'm begging.
So who are those they released? The 165?
Yeah, the 165.
Are they Reverend Fathers?
No. I'm saying maybe it's, when the military and the police people are doing their reading, they normally in Nigeria, our the zoo, the way they work. They will also read the people that are passing by, even the women that are selling something, the pure water seller. They can carry some of them. These are the people when they look at it, they will release them. They will never release Boko Haram suspects. They rape people. They will even kill them. Because they know
I'll repeat the news. Do you want me to repeat the news? This is Radio Biafra. We don't report anything we are not sure of. Are you aware of that? Do you want me to repeat the news? They asked the army man, let me explain please to you. They asked Ulukolade, why are you releasing them? He said it's for the interest of peace in the country. You don't release a pure water seller in the interest of peace.
Yeah.
You understand that? You only release people that are killers. That is why we must be very, very vigilant. We must know what we are doing. That is why we must ask Jonathan today and always to release Henry and Charles, okay? And also to make sure that Iburi is released as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you very much for calling and God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Who else has something to say here, please? Go ahead. Who else? Who hasn't spoken, please?
Yeah, somebody's microphone.
Oh yeah, please go ahead.
Introduce yourself.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Hello, wonderful people of Biafra. My name is Valentine Ane. I'm from Udi, local government, Obioma in Biafra land. I want to thank you, Director, for the wonderful work you are doing. I say more grace to your elbow. May God prosper you. Whatever you touch, may it turn to gold.
Amen.
And may God be with you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Yes, who else wants to speak, please? Who else wants to speak? Yes, please give him. Go ahead, please introduce yourself.
My name is Rosama Oku from Ituboma in Imo State. I will use this opportunity to thank you for the wonderful job you have been doing for the behalf of Biafra. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. I like Ituboma. One of my friends come from there. Please, the next person who wants to speak, give him the microphone, please. Go ahead.
Hello, Director, Radio Biafra. Can I ask you some questions?
Direct, live and direct.
My name is Okachugo. I'm from Africa World Newspaper. I'm actually the editor of the newspaper. I was informed of your being in Ireland, so I decided to come here to throw some questions to you. Africa World Newspaper is a newspaper that gathers for Africans in Ireland,
Yes.
in the diaspora and around the world.
Yes.
And we've been following your activities. I even watched your visit to Ezu River.
Yes.
Should it be before the elections?
That is correct.
Where you saw some Fulani guys.
Yes.
And there was total lack of security that you were complaining and stuff. I want to ask you, what's the core objective of Radio Biafra? Bearing in mind that there are numerous organizations chanting for Biafra, we don't know how you are going to work together. That's one. Two, there's international politics involved in the actualization of such a dream. How are you keying into that? Is it broadcasting from one country to another? Are you just mobilizing your people, or are you doing what it takes? I mean, getting involved in the mechanism towards actualizing your dream. That's my question.
Thank you very much. The mission of Radio Biafra is a very simple one: to get Biafra by every means necessary and possible. By every means, including war.
Including violence.
Dear Lord in heaven, big violence that no one has ever seen before. We said we will burn the zoo down and we will do it. Nigeria will be burnt to the ground, completely burnt to the ground. We are prepared for them. In every way possible. In every way possible. We are not here to beg anybody to support us. If you like, you support. If you like, you don't, it doesn't matter anyway, because we are marching forward. Nobody can stop us. Ojukwu said it long time ago, they thought he was joking. Nobody born of man or woman. Now, because men can marry men now, so you say, no anybody born of man and woman. Very soon a man will get pregnant in England. We are unstoppable. Our enemies know this. That's why they keep praying and fasting. And I'm praying to God that as soon as they kneel down to pray and fast, let them die from there. I'm coming. I'll answer the question again. What are we doing? We are mobilizing, sensitizing, making our people aware. We are trying to undo 56 years of Yoruba lies and deceit. Yorubas told people from Anioma that their name is Bendel Igbo. Have you forgotten Bendel Igbo? Now they are Delta Igbo. They are South South, South South South, South 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 South, Niger Delta, Nile Delta, Imo Delta. Very soon you have people claiming they are from Imo Delta, the Imo Delta area, or from Benue Delta. We are trying to undo years of crap fed to our people, so that an average Biafran will understand that investing your money in Ikotet Bene is far more better than putting it in Abuja.
Yes.
It takes psychological cleanse and a certain to make them to reason properly. Some can't reason anymore. You know, when you go to the north and you drink fura dununu, you know fura? Untreated milk. Look at that person after 2-3 days. Untreated milk. Yes, please go ahead.
Mr. Director, another question.
Sorry, yeah, again, go ahead.
Okay, my next question is this. Considering that, actualization of this kind of dream can be a Herculean task without international support, and remembering the fact that the Security Council will play a role in recognition of such a new state, how do you think, your organization, being just a radio outfit, can mobilize the international community, particularly the United Nations Security Council, to recognize Biafra? Mind you, there are 5 key votes, and Britain is involved. Britain was involved in the Nigerian Civil War, and you will know the role they played. How are you going to lobby such a power to support your move?
First of all, we are not a radio outfit. We are the voice of the indigenous people of Biafra. That is number 1. So we are not BBC or CNN radio. We are the voice of our people. Wherever Radio Biafra goes and speaks, we are speaking on behalf of the indigenous people of Biafra worldwide. So we are more than a radio station. That is number 1. All our mechanisms and processes are in place to consult, to meet our friends and to discuss with them, and I am not at liberty to divulge the nitty-gritty and the finer details of our diplomatic thrust. I can't say that on air, because we don't want to compromise our friends and those doing work for us. Biafra-Nigeria war was not a civil war. You fight a civil war. If Umuleri and Aguleri are fighting, that is a civil war between a particular people. When I'm fighting cattle rearers from the north, I am fighting a different culture, a different tradition, a different value system, a different political system, a different socio-economic arrangement from the one that I have. These two things are irreconcilable, cannot be reconciled. If you want me to stay in Nigeria, then I will ask you to go and bring the people of Saudi Arabia and England in one country. Let's see if they will last for 2 hours. Is it possible? No. Saudi Arabia and England in one country. It cannot be together. So that is one other fact. You mentioned the 5 Security Council members. Israel was in the same position. You know, the British don't like the children of God. That is the way they are. It's in their nature. Britain was given the Palestine mandate after the Second World War when 6 million people have been slaughtered. The British said no, that they will not let the children of God come back to their own land. Do you know the group called the Ergun? E-R-E-G-U-N, from which the Israeli Secret Service emerged, and Haganah. They bombed the bastards out of Palestine. Bombed them out, that useless people. They bombed them out of the place. Britain played a role against us during the war. The man is dead. His name is Harold Wilson. Only if you're going to bring him back from the grave. He cannot come back. The world of 1967 to 70 is not the world of 2013 to 2015. A lot has changed. We lost the war because we could not deliver Ogbunigwe. We did not have any rockets to carry this very warhead to our enemies. More than, say, 20 kilometers only. We would have won. Do you know how many scientists we have in America? Do you know how many? Do you know how many scientists we have in Ireland here that can build a bomb overnight that will destroy anything? I'm saying only Ireland. I'm not talking of UK. We are assembling these brains, the finest brains you have ever come across. When we say the zoo will be destroyed, we're going to destroy it completely and totally unless they give us Biafra. If they don't, they will die. I'm telling you before God and man. They will perish.
Director, I still have more questions as you speak majestically well. And my questions are pertinent questions that some Igbos scattered around the world, as you said, who have distinguished themselves in scientific and social and economic life pattern are still asking. Many are saying, how do you realize this? You mustn't fail to understand that international politics plays a very important role. We in the Igbos or Biafrans are God people, but this is not about. It's not a religious thing. You want to actualize a state, and it's not about mere talking and propaganda. There are a lot of things. What are your group or members of your group doing to curry or lobby the powers that be to support the interest of your group, which is actualization of Biafran state, knowing full well that certain stakes are involved? You talked about the Haganah and the Israeli getting Jerusalem and forming the Israeli state in 1948, but when British people had the mandate, they were understanding, in as much as the British had dual understanding, even with the Arabs, remnants of the Ottoman Empire who were involved, who were controlling Jerusalem at that time, and the Zionist movement by Ben Gurion and co. There were sort of understanding. Are you people, are your group involved in such understanding? Because this is a delicate thing you want to achieve. Convince Igbos around the world that
Biafrans,
you are serious.
Biafrans, not Igbos. Biafrans all around the world, not just Igbo people, but the AFX, the BBO.
Many want a conviction that you are serious. That is not mere broadcasting. That they want to see the mechanisms down.
Are they saying that we should tell them how many guns we have? Is that what they want us? If they want, we can.
Who is supporting this argument of realization of Biafran state?
Biafrans are. Those that own the land are supporting it.
Members of the international community.
Yes, let us get something very, very straight. They say heaven help those that help themselves. You have to help yourself first before the international community comes. And I said to you before that we have made contact with every major government in the world. We have placed the zoo on notice. We have written to the Senate, the House of Reps, everybody, informing them of what is to come. You asked about international friends. Of course we are making friends. But one thing we don't have is oil money. We don't have oil money, do we? So if I tell you now that I have met Mr. Walter Smith of Austria, that they are helping us, what the Hausas will do, they will call him on the phone and say, come and take one ship and load it with oil and go. They will start saying something else. Right? Because of that, we are not at liberty to tell you precisely what we are doing and how we are going about it. I put it to you this way. The only thing the world can do is to say, as some of them did with Kosovo. You know the case of Kosovo?
Yeah.
What they can do is to say, apart from this, we won't recognize you. Does that stop you from being a human being?
No.
That somebody doesn't want you to have embassy in their country? Does it mean anything?
No.
What we are saying is that we are very lucky, luckier than the Israelis. Do you know why we are very lucky? We are not contesting any piece of land with anybody. So there is no dispute. So if I see a British man at Amandoba, I will know that this is not their place, that they came, unless they will intend to use one of us to do their dirty work. You must be without fear before your enemies. God did not give my land to the British. God created that land that we may be free, that we may live there for eternity to worship Him. Anybody that comes into that land, I promise you, we all will drown in the oil well together. They will kill us, yes, then so bloody what? We are going to die anyway. How many more years do I have left? But we shall kill them. Kill them and their children and their children's children. Why is America running from Afghanistan? You know they're running from Afghanistan? Do you know that? Do you know America is running from Afghanistan?
After 10 years of war.
You cannot take away from people what is rightfully theirs. You can't do it. Unless they let you. Unless they let you. We are everywhere in the world. More than any other race. You know that? We are everywhere in the world. We can sustain a war for 1 million years. All you need to do is to give us one euro every week. We'll sustain a war for 1 million years. And they will run. Look at ordinary Boko Haram. I'm coming. They're begging them to put down their arms. Anything they want, they will give them because they want to continue looting. But our people are dying. We are the only people on this earth that suffered a pogrom, annihilation, a Holocaust. There is not one single foundation stone laid anywhere to remember those people. Not one. Not one. Before Frederick Lugard came and created the monstrosity called Nigeria, I didn't know who this man was. My ancestors never knew him. He came from somewhere overnight and said, from now onwards, your name is Nigeria. And we're looking at him. But of course, he came with whiskey, sugar, and chocolate. And what does he come with? He came with bicycle and mirror to confuse us. We said, oh my goodness, this Beture, the way they are, maybe, who knows, with their bicycle, who knows, what they're saying is correct. When the missionaries came, they told us that God sent them. And being very godly people, we believed them. That God may have sent them, indeed. So anything they said we should do, we did. Believing that God sent them. We didn't know it's just the palm oil, the palm kernel, the cocoa,
Like it.
and the oil they're taking. They said, but God sent us from, there is a Monsignor of Catholic Church, that God sent them. So that type of nonsense would not wash with us anymore. I am not going to Britain to take over Kent. Or sorry, no, stay in your land. If you want oil, we dash you oil for free. We're not doing anything with it. But I was born a free person, and I intend to die a Biafran, a free person. It is either we get Biafra or I die fighting for Biafra. It is better for me that way. But a life of slavery in Ireland, a life of slavery in Britain, a life of slavery in Germany, a life of abundant stupidity and hopelessness in America is not for me.
Mr. Director, sir, I have another question. My question is this. Your organization, is it all about leading people to death or actualizing the state of Biafra?
Without death, you cannot have life.
And seeing the political equation emerging in Nigeria at the moment, does your supposed coming Republic of Biafra include the southern people.
There is nobody called South. You've read geography. Where in geography, in the cardinal points, do you have South before?
I mean, with the state of Nigeria, there's 6 geopolitical zones, and we have to face the fact that there's 6 geopolitical zones, and the minorities in the former eastern regions have been pushed under the south.
Who is a minority?
The Jaws, the Effiks.
A minority against who?
I'm saying, do they include?
No, I'm asking you, you're a journalist. Minority against who? I cannot be in my father's compound. You come and say I'm a minority. Minority, there has to be a definition. What we are looking at here is a definition drawn up by people who are alien to our way of life. I have said it before. I said it last night and I'll repeat it. The word Jew is what is called a corrupted version of Judah. In Israel, Judah is only but one tribe. But the name Judah took over everybody else, either by commission or omission.
Do you believe
I need to answer your questions. You come to your question. We can stay here till tomorrow morning. We're not going anywhere. Jews took over. It doesn't mean that the other tribes are not there, like Benjamin and all the rest of them. They are still there. But the Jew took over. Nobody has been able to disprove me that the people of Ejon, Efik, Ibibio, and Igbo people are from one family. Nobody has disproved it. They are one people. All this minority report was brought by the British. The British gave us a minority. Do you know the reason why? They wrote the minority report saying that the Calabars, the people in Akwa Ibom, if they go, what is going to happen to them? And when I was studying in England, many years ago, something occurred to me. Why did you not have a minority commission in the north, where you have the TV people, the Nupe people, the Wari people, the Birom people? Why no minority commission? Why minority commission here? It is the classic divide and rule. They found oil. The only way to have access to your oil is to divide you. Very simple. If I want to come to your family and take something from you, I'll get you fighting with your brothers. You're fighting, I'll be cutting away what you have. So that was why they set up minority commission. There is a difference in emphasis, because you see, African people sometimes we're a bit stupid. And I'll tell you why I think so we are very daft. A change or slight variation in language does not mean you're a different people. It doesn't mean that at all. In Israel, they have Yiddish. They have Hebrew. When Christ was on earth, he was not speaking Hebrew, he was speaking Aramaic. Does that mean he is not an Israeli? Does that mean that those that speak Yiddish are not Jewish people? Does it mean if you speak Hebrew, you don't belong? So why is it that when you speak Hebrew, you speak Ejo, you speak Efik, you're different? But in Israel, you have Hebrew, you have Yiddish, you have Aramaic, but they're still the same people. Do you see why I say I'm an uneducated man? I study to acquire knowledge. I just don't read to pass. I study to acquire knowledge. Why is it, if you go to Nsukka, we can pay for your ticket, you go to Nsukka. If they speak Igbo, if you hear one word, anything you want, I'll give you. Their Igbo language is out of this world, completely different. Do you know, I'm from Ibeku. Our father, my mother is from Ibeku, so is my father. Our father, where I come from, our own accent and dialect is different from where my mother comes from. Does it mean we're in different countries? My dear brother, John, the Izon people from Owerri, Arochukwu, and Nri, are the same brothers, the same father, but not the same mother. The same mother gave birth to 3 sons. One stayed at Nri as the first son. One went to Owerri. One went to Arochukwu. If you come from that part of the world, including Calabar, you come from Arochukwu, go and ask them, they will tell you. That's where they come from. Did they fall from heaven? How did they get to where they are today?